we will find in these three problems the slope of the line. The formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is the rise over run. And make sure you don't confuse what goes on the numerator and the denominator. Usually sometimes students put the x's on the top and the y's in the bottom. Okay? So if you look at part A, find the slope between the two lines. I will call this x1, y1 and this point x2, y2. So to find the slope m, we will say y2, which is negative 5, minus y1, which is 1, all over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is negative 2. And now, go ahead and add. On the top we get negative 5 minus 1, that's negative 6. And then 3 minus a negative 2 is 3 plus 2, which is 5. So the slope is negative 6 over 5. And you can pull that negative to the front, negative 6 over 5 like that. On the next one, let's label the points again the same way, x1, y1 and x2, y2. Slope equals the difference in the y's, that will be y2, which is 2, minus y1, which is 2, over x2, which is negative 3, and x1, which is 1. On the top we have 0 over, in the denominator we have negative 4, and if you put this in your calculators, 0 over negative 4 is 0. The slope is 0. Make sure when you label your points, the indexes go together. So if this is x1, this has to be y1. If this is x2, this will have to go with y2. Okay? And on the last one, we were not given the 2 points, but we are given the line. We can, if we want to follow the same formula, you can read 2 points on this graph. For example, this point right here is clearly a point 0,3 where the line goes through. And another point that I would like to use is this point right here, which is 1, negative 1. So you can make your own points. You can look at the graph and get your 2 points if they are not given to you, and then follow the same procedure and the same formula. Now, I said I'm using those 2 points because, say somebody wants to use this point. Do you see how this point right here is not exactly in a corner of the little boxes? So it doesn't have the exact coordinates. The y coordinate is negative 3, but it's difficult to guess what the x coordinate will be. So that would not be a point. You want to use a point that you can read the x and the y coordinates exactly. Okay? We don't want to use this. Now, I'm going to use a different procedure to find the slope on this line. Instead of using the 2 points and the formula we just used on the last 2 problems, I will use the idea of rise over run. So if you start with 1 point, either point, so say we start at this point right here, the point 1, negative 1, I want us to describe what it will take to get from this point to the other point, to 0,3. And what I mean by that is, I want us to describe the rise over run. Rise is up and down motion, while run is left and right. Okay? So, if you are at point 1, negative 1, how many units do we go up and left to get to the other point? So I'm going to start counting on the next point. This is position 0. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 up, and 1 to the left. 4 up and 1 to the left. And because I have to the left, I will put a negative to indicate that I'm going to the left. So 4 over negative 1 or negative 4 is the slope of this line. It's a negative slope because the line is going in this direction, while a line that goes in this direction would be positive slope. Okay, so this slope here is negative. We expected it to be negative. And all I did is go count the units that you go up and over to the left. And just remember that the point is at position 0, so you do not count that point. You start counting at the next tick.